Friday, guys. It's Friday. The work week is over. I don't know about you, but I'm so glad it's Friday. Like I said yesterday, I have another video with some street signs. We're going to do 12 street signs, and then we're done for the week. Okay, so let's get started. So this is a pretty easy one. We're going to start off easy today. The big old red stop sign. Come up to that, you got to stop. Look all the way. Make sure no other cars coming. Become a four-way stop. We all take turns. Instead of a stoplight, there's a stop sign. So you got to stop and look for other cars, okay? Stop sign. This is a sign if you kind of go to a busier city, or like down for a baseball game or something like that to the city, or where there's a lot of shopping, like in the old historical towns, you might come across this circle with a line across it. Any time there's a circle with a line across it, pretty much is no. Don't do it, no. And this P stands for parking. So if you come across and you see one of these lines over a P, that means no parking. The person driving you around cannot park in that area. It's a no parking zone. So this is another sign that has the big circle with the line across it, so it means no. And this is a U-turn. So if you're driving, you can't just spin around and go the other way. It's what we call a U-turn, no U-turn. So you can't turn around, make a U-ey, some people say. That's a no U-turn sign. If you see that, that means you gotta go straight down to a light and make a turn. You can't just whip around and make a quick turn. No U-turn. Now, we've all seen these signs, especially at stores, in different places, restaurants. Some of you probably even confuse them because you have to have a special license plate or a tag that hangs in your window. And this pretty much lets you park a little bit closer to the store if you have a disability. It's reserved parking. Maybe somebody has a wheelchair and a lift and has to come out and have that extra space to get the wheelchair out so they can park a little bit closer. Or maybe someone has a walker or a cane, and they, so that they don't have to park so far away. They won't have as far to walk, okay? This is our reserved parking for people with disabilities, okay? So on this sign, we got an arrow going one direction and it says only. And this arrow looks pretty straight. There's no curves or turns in it. So what this is saying, if you come up and it's on a post, it's letting you know that this lane that you're in or where you're at, you have to go straight. We see a lot of these signs hanging on light posts or close to the stoplights because that lane, you have to go straight. You can't make a turn because you might hit the car in the lane next to you. So this is a straight only. Straight only. Again, this is one of those signs we come up to close to stoplights, and sometimes they're even painted on the lanes on the concrete. We got an arrow this time that goes to the right. It turns to the right. So this would mean a right turn only. You can only go to the right. Right only. Again, you could be on this lane and this lane, and they can both be right turns only. But if I decide to go to straight and this guy's making my turn, an accident could happen. So you need to be in the right lane, or the correct lane to where you're going. This is a right turn only. Okay, our seventh sign today. Again, we got the red circle with the line across. So that means no, and it looks like somebody's walking. So this is a no walking zone. Pretty much you can't cross the street. No crossing the street here. Maybe it's too dangerous, too much traffic, too many lanes of traffic, whatever. There's a sign up that says you cannot cross the street. You need to go maybe down to the corner or to somewhere else where they'll have the crossing lights and stuff for you guys to go across. But if you come across one of these, that means no walking. No walking across there. So like in the sign that I showed you before, it was a no pedestrian, is what it's really called, no pedestrian crossing, which means no walking. This one though is where you would go if you need to cross the street, where they have all the lights. It tells you start crossing. You want to watch for vehicles. You don't start, you finish crossing and start. There's all these buttons. You hit a button and then the light comes up across the way that tells you don't, and that tells you can cross, and this is how much time you have to cross. And this one says nope, 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 you cannot cross the street here, okay? So this one will have a button down here, and it helps you to know when it's safe to cross the street. This is important, especially if you're in a town that you're not familiar with, but maybe you're with somebody that's gotten sick or has gotten hurt, and you need to get to the hospital. They have these signs up on the street posts and stuff so that you know how to get to the hospital. It'll have a hospital and then an arrow telling you which way to go. So the white H in the blue means hospital. All the hospitals, any hospital you have close by you is going to have these signs up to let people know how to get to the hospital for emergencies. Now they still have these blue signs, and a lot of them will tell you when there's restaurants or special places, like in the blue, and have all the different kind of restaurants if you want to stop and get something to eat. But a lot of times on the big highways that just go and go and go and don't go to towns that often on a big road trip, you're going to see what's called a rest area sign. So if I'm driving, I've been driving a long time. When I go to Kentucky Lake, I pass some of these some of the time. And let's say I need to take a break. I'm super tired and I don't want to drive anymore. I need to rest. Or sometimes they have restrooms, vending machines if you need a snack. You can pull off and go to what they call rest areas. That gives yourself a break. Goes off the highway, big parking lot, like I said, with restrooms. Maybe there's maps of the city or the state that you're going to. Vending machines, maybe there's picnic tables. But it lets you pull off and take a rest so that you can get rejuvenated and you can see clearly to drive. So these are called rest areas. It lets you know when there's one of these coming up so you can exit off and go take a rest. Okay, this one here again has the big circle with the line across it. It's over a bicycle. So that means in that area there's no bikes allowed. You can't ride your bike here. Sometimes on sidewalks down in the city or in front of businesses, you can't ride your bike. No bikes allowed. Okay, this is the last slide here, and this is called yield. That's just kind of even when you're walking and you stop and you let somebody go in front of you, you're yielding, you're letting them go first. On a lot of roads, when we go to get on the highway, we're going, we gotta stop and let the highway go first and slowly come in together. You gotta yield and let the highway go first, okay? You gotta slow down and kind of watch, okay? That's our last clip, that's our last video for the week. You guys have a good week and good weekend.